As AI advances to the forefront of technology, it's changing the way computer code and software is developed. How will AI impact productivity? Will we be able to communicate with AI? Will AI take over writing and developing code? Join us as we hear from Edward Aftandilian, principal researcher at GitHub in San Francisco.
GitHub Copilot is an AI code completion tool. We use a large language model to try to predict what you're about to type next as a programmer, right? So you're typing on your laptop, you pause in the middle of a line, and Copilot tries to guess what the next line or next few lines that you're going to type are. Our hope is that helps the programmer, execute their task more quickly, more productively, and maybe helps them write better code, teaches them something they didn't know about before. So our article is about measuring the productivity impact of AI code completion tools like GitHub Copilot. And we did this by matching up quantitative metrics that we get from our telemetry with user-reported survey feedback of perceived productivity. With the survey, we were trying to measure the impact of Copilot on perceived productivity. How did users feel when they were using Copilot? Did they feel like it was making them more productive? We thought going in that measures of accuracy would be more strongly correlated with perceived productivity. But we found that actually just purely acceptance rate was more strongly correlated. And we think that that's happening because users find it helpful to get a starting point. Even if it's not 100% right, even if they have to go in and edit it, it's still better than not getting a suggestion at all. So the most similar related work sets up an artificial experiment where users are given a task, and some of them can use an AI code completion tool and some of them can't, and you measure the task completion time and task completion rate. This has the disadvantage that the task is synthetic, it's not representative of the real world, and the users are typically college students, so they're not representative of all software developers. And by contrast, our study involved about 2,000 people, the majority of which were professional programmers, and the metrics were derived from them using Copilot for their day-to-day programming tasks. The interaction with a code completion AI, you can view it as kind of like a conversation. And I don't mean a conversation like you might have with ChatGPT where you're actually typing back and forth with it. But this interaction of the system shows me a completion and maybe I accept it and then edit it a bit, or I go back and add a comment to clarify what I'm looking for, in a way is a kind of conversation. And I think that's an interesting idea to explore further. There have been a lot of ideas in the developer tools space that turned out to be infeasible after we did the research. But now with the emergence of LLMs, I think a lot of these things are actually feasible now. And it's really exciting to work in a place where we can revisit those things and build tools that couldn't have existed 5 or 10 years ago. I hope that the future with AI code completion is going to democratize programming. There are a lot of people out there who have ideas that they could express through software, but they don't have the skills or training to be able to do that. And I'm hopeful that the next generation of AI developer tools will enable these people to implement their ideas and express themselves through code. I think that with AI code completion tools, we're already seeing that developers are more productive, and I think that's only going to increase. There are a lot of problems in the world that could be solved through software, and there aren't enough developers to write all the software to solve all these problems. And so by making existing developers more productive, I hope that we can enable developers to solve more of those problems.
Learn more in Measuring GitHub Copilot's Impact on Productivity, a research article in the March 2024 communications of the ACM.